Yeah, guys, can you hear me? Hello, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Recording started, sir. Okay. Okay, so before I'm going to start Azure DevOps. Okay, so let me introduce myself. Okay, so my name is Shiva Kumar. Okay, I have 19 years of experience. I started my career in June 2003 as an Oracle DBA. The past 7 years, I have been on DevOps, AWS, Azure. Okay, the Azure DevOps. So this is my brief introduction. Okay, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, audible.
You are clear.
Okay. Thank you. So here, before we are going to start actually what exactly Azure DevOps, let me discuss what are the prerequisites for this. No coding is required. Okay, just you need to have Windows working knowledge. Working means just operating knowledge. Okay, so Windows knowledge is mandatory. Now everyone nowadays will be having knowledge on Windows operating system, right? Okay, any Windows operating system like Windows 10 or 2016, 19, whatever it may be. Okay, and when coming to this session particulars, our session days will be Monday to Friday. Session timings will be 8 p.m. IST. Today, because of some technical issue, the session was delayed. I am sorry for that. Okay. What exactly a DevOps engineer will do in the industry? Okay. So many people will be getting confused that actually there are two different DevOps roles. One is infra DevOps engineer and application DevOps engineer. Application DevOps engineer. Okay, so like this we have two different roles. Okay, our course is targeted for our Azure DevOps is targeted for application DevOps engineer. Azure DevOps is targeted for application DevOps engineer. Okay, we will discuss what is meant by application DevOps engineer and infra DevOps engineer clearly. Okay, application developer DevOps engineer. Now, what exactly a DevOps engineer has to do, and what are the roles and responsibilities of a DevOps engineer. Okay. What exactly a DevOps engineer will be doing in the industry? What are the roles and responsibilities of a DevOps engineer? Okay. So generally, when we speak about DevOps engineer goals, okay, one is to minimize or to reduce the time to release a software. This is a very important responsibility of a DevOps engineer. And the second responsibility of a DevOps engineer is to provide, okay, infra. Infra means infrastructure. This is nothing but virtual machines from cloud, okay, storage, okay, networking. These are the major responsibilities of a DevOps engineer. Of course, as a application DevOps engineer, okay, just we are going to fulfill first activity only to reduce the time to release the software. Okay, so we don't provide infrastructure. So infrastructure provision is done by, okay, infra DevOps engineer. Okay, so there are two types of DevOps courses, two types of DevOps roles. I have told you, right? Infra DevOps and application DevOps engineer. Okay, here this is infra DevOps engineer. So as Azure DevOps is concerned, okay, so this is completely targeted for, hello, sorry, so Azure DevOps is completely targeted for application DevOps engineer only. What exactly DevOps? So generally, whenever a new project comes to the organization, okay, so many people will come into picture, like project managers, and okay, many people will come into picture, and they are going to perform any other activities. But initially, okay, just I want to discuss starting from developer writing the code. Okay, so you take any project, it can be .NET project, it can be Java, Python, Ruby, Node.js, whatever it may be. Okay, any project it may be. First, developers will come into picture. Okay, developer writes the code. Okay, so once a developer writing the code, okay, generally the code is available in which format? A raw format. Okay, let me explain diagrammatically. You just imagine this circle is my developer's machine. So once the code is developed by DevOps engineer, okay, at the end of the day, he is going to submit code. Okay, so much anchor. So guys, other people, can you hear me voice? Hello?
Yeah, you are audible. Please proceed.
Is it audible?
Yep.
Okay. So Seamus Shankar, I think from your some audio disturbance is there. Just please, okay, check that issue. Okay, because others are able to listen my voice. Okay, they are telling that they are audible. Okay, now here once this is my developer machine. Okay, from the developer machine, generally the code is submitted to some version control system. Okay, what are the capabilities of version control system? What is a version control system? Okay, we are going to discuss that is a different issue. Okay, so version control system is a place where exactly developer will be, okay, submitting the code. So this is also called as version control system, or we can also call as SCM, means source code management system. Okay, or code repository. These are the synonyms. Okay, so here exactly the code is available in the form of raw. Okay, raw code is available here. Only raw code. The code can be any language. Okay, the language is not an issue, but the raw code cannot be executed directly, right? Okay, that must be converted into some executable format. That must be converted into some executable format. Sorry. So the raw code must be converted into some executable format. For that, can you please mute? Because the recording quality is degraded. Please. Here, this is the build environment where exactly the code is deployed. Okay. In the build environment, can you please mute? Okay, here this is the build environment where exactly the code is deployed. Okay, for building artifacts. So if the code is Java language, the code is in Java. Okay, generally we are going to use something like Maven as a build tool. Okay, so if the code is something like .NET code, generally we are going to use MS Build. Okay, so here the outcome of build environment is executable format. The outcome of build environment is executable format. Executable files will be the output from the build environment. So from the build environment, actually, okay, so we are going to create artifacts are executable. Okay, both artifacts are executables are generated. But directly artifacts cannot be executed, right? They must be tested. To test the artifacts, generally we are going to deploy code into testing environments. Okay, testing environment. So this is something like QA. Okay, according to QA policies and QA guidelines, the code will be tested. Okay, here this is something like QA environment. So environment is nothing but servers. A collection of servers will be there. Okay, so here this is not a simple environment. Okay, it is having many servers like load balance, many servers. Each is responsible for conducting one level of test. Here extensive testing is performed here. Extensive testing is performed like load balancing test, performance test, integration test. Okay, many testings are performed here. Okay, as a result of testing environment, two things can be happened here. Okay, what are the two things can be happened? Okay, one can be the QA team will be sending some feedback to developers so that they will be correcting the code again if there is any errors, if there is any bug fix. Otherwise, directly the code from QA environment to okay, this is something like UAT. Okay, UAT, or we can also call it as pre-prod. Okay, these are the various names for this environment here. Project managers and stakeholders. Okay, many people will be coming under this category. Okay, we'll be testing code finally. Okay, whether the code is meeting all the requirements of the client or not. Okay, so that kind of testing is performed in this UAT, pre-production. So finally, if they okay the code, okay, where exactly code will go? Code will go to live environment directly. Code will go to live environment. Where this is something like my production or live environment. Live or production. Okay, exactly code is used from here. Okay, my end user will be able to use the code from okay, live environment. Now, once upon a time, completely this was manual process. Okay, so whenever code is deployed into version control system, from there manually they will be moving code from version control system to build environment, from their QA, from their UAT, from their live environment. Once upon a time, completely this was manual. As this was manual, okay, project generally it was taking 6 months to 1 year of time. Now, as a DevOps engineer, what is your responsibility? So you have to automate this activity. All these activities you have to automate. That means whenever my code is available in version control system, automatically code will be moved to this build environment. From there, okay, it is going to be travel to this QA, from there UAT, from their live environment. So like this, the code will be moving, okay, one stage to other stage in an automated environment. Okay, as a DevOps engineer, okay, you have to use something like Azure DevOps pipelines, Azure pipelines, okay, to automate these activities. So what are the pipelines that we are going to use here? We are going to use two types of pipelines here. One is build pipeline, okay, another one is release pipeline. Release pipeline. And here, what is the build pipeline and what is release pipeline? What is the difference between these two? Before that, okay, let us discuss what exactly a DevOps engineer will be do. Okay, so a DevOps engineer responsibility is to automate CI/CD pipelines. Okay, so what is meant by CI and what is meant by CD? Here, CI stands for continuous integration. Okay, and CD stands for continuous delivery. Continuous delivery. Now here, what is the difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment and continuous integration? Now, just look at this first two steps. What are the first two steps? It is a process of automating first two steps is called as continuous integration. These two steps will be coming under continuous integration. Continuous integration. Now here the process of continuously deploying code, okay, into which environment? Into UAT, up to this environment, okay, here this is called as continuous delivery. Continuous delivery. And the process of automating starting from version control system to till live environment. Till live environment, if you are able to automate it, that system, that process is called as continuous deployment. Continuous deployment. Continuous deployment. Now in Azure DevOps, so continuous integration is nothing but build pipeline. In Azure DevOps, okay, CI equal to, okay, CI is nothing but build pipeline. That means through build pipeline, what we are going to do? So just we are going to create artifact, that's all. Okay, whatever code is given by developers. Okay, from that code, as a DevOps engineer, okay, you have to create, okay, build pipeline. Build pipeline you have to create, that is your major responsibility. And what is CD? Yes, CD can be, that means continuous delivery can be done by release pipelines. Release pipelines. Okay, these are the two activities which you are going to do as a DevOps engineer, application DevOps engineer. Okay, now one more responsibility of a DevOps engineer is, here we have environment, right? Okay, now my code is ready, but where exactly code is deployed, code is tested, code is delivered. Okay, for that we require environment, right? Okay, we require environments. Okay, what is mean by environment? Environment is nothing but server. Environment equal to server. Okay, now how to create servers? To create servers, Okay, that is actually that is not your responsibility. Okay, that is the responsibility of a infra DevOps engineer. Okay, infra DevOps engineer is responsibility is to provide infrastructure also. To provide infrastructure, okay, you as a infra DevOps engineer, we are going to use something like Terraform. Okay, now Terraform is a tool from generic DevOps or infra DevOps, which is going to provide infrastructure, to various team members. Okay, so what is the capability of Terraform actually? Terraform, okay, Terraform's capability is Terraform is a tool from generic DevOps, which is going to, okay, provide infrastructure, to various teams. Various teams requires servers, right? Okay, servers. So why servers are required? For testing the code, one server is required. For deploying the code, one server is required. For building the code, one server is required. But how to provide the servers? As a infra DevOps engineer, okay, you are going to use one tool called Terraform. Terraform is also called as IAC. Okay, IAC stands for Infrastructure as Code. Infrastructure as Code. Okay, so by using Terraform, okay, we are going to create infrastructure. Okay, this is a responsibility of a application DevOps engineer. Okay, if you learn Azure DevOps, you will be playing as application DevOps only. You need not to provide any infrastructure. Okay, infrastructure provision is done by infra DevOps engineers, not by you. Okay, now as a part of this, we are providing Docker and Kubernetes also at free of cost. Okay, so what is Docker and what is Kubernetes? Especially for nowadays, microservices are very popular, right? Okay, what is a microservice generally? So if you think of a main application, okay, let us just a minute. Okay. Now, just imagine we have one e-commerce application. So generally, e-commerce application is broken into many microservices, right? Okay. Now just imagine, here this is my cloud platform. Here I deployed one virtual machine. In that virtual machine, okay, we have running one e-commerce application. So as we know that e-commerce application is something like many microservices like order service, okay, sales service, payment, okay, like this it is a collection of many services. Now just imagine my end user is using this application. When my end user is using this application, just imagine, okay, all of a sudden the traffic onto this VM is increased. Okay, just assume that the capacity of this virtual machine is only 500 users. The capacity of this virtual machine is only 500 users. Okay, but all of a sudden the traffic on the virtual machine is increased. The traffic became 1000 users. Okay, now the 1000 users are using this application. Okay, but what is the limitation of this virtual machine? The limitation of virtual machine is 500 users only. Okay, but the extra 500 users are there. Now, for the sake of one more 500 users, what I can do? I can add one more machine. Okay, I can dynamically add one more machine. But when I add one more machine, what happens here? Whatever services are there with e-commerce application, okay, automatically deployed, automatically replicated. Okay, now the second virtual machine also contains all the services. Okay, like order service, okay, sales service, payment service, okay, and some other service, authentication service. But my intention is for this period, for some period of time, just I want to replicate only order service. Okay, I don't want to replicate sales service, payment service like this. For the sake of order service, why I need to have full-fledged virtual machine? Okay, if I replicate one more virtual machine, what happens here? There is a separate operating system is created. There is a replication of all the services are occurred. Okay, these many things are done. Okay, but my intention is just I want to replicate only order service. So just for the sake of order service, why I need to maintain a full-fledged virtual machine? Okay, rather than maintaining this structure, I can go with something like containers. Containers are best suitable for deploying this kind of microservices. So what is a microservice? Actually, microservice means it is something like a small service which can be executed independently. Okay, order is a microservice, sales is a microservice, payment is a microservice, authentication is a microservice. So just for the sake of one service, why I need to maintain this kind of full-fledged virtual machine? Okay, for that I can use a container. Okay, for creating container, for starting containers, stopping containers, I can use Docker and Kubernetes. That means for one or two containers we can use Docker. For managing thousands of containers, we can use Kubernetes. Kubernetes is just like what orchestration tool. Nowadays, Docker and Kubernetes is having very huge demand. Okay, for the sake of microservices deployment. Okay, now as a part of this course, we are providing Docker and Kubernetes. It is free of cost. Okay. Now this is a exact story of Docker and Kubernetes, and this is about something like your application DevOps. Now, if I go to Azure DevOps, just a minute. Where is my Azure DevOps? Okay. Yeah, this is normal flow which we have discussed just now. Okay, Azure DevOps is a combination of 5 components, 5 tools. Okay, so what are the 5 tools here? Azure Boards, Azure Pipelines, Azure Repos, Azure Test Plans, Azure Artifacts. Okay, so what exactly Azure DevOps? Azure Boards is a place where exactly project managers will come into picture. They are going to prepare plan for the project. Okay, like a plan regarding budget, manpower. Okay, so that kind of things are performed using Azure Boards. Azure Pipelines. So using Azure Pipeline, just now we have discussed we can create 2 types of pipelines. One is build pipeline, other one is release pipelines. Okay, Azure Repos. Azure Repos is just like it is a code repository where exactly developers will be storing the code. Not only developers, our DevOps engineers will be also storing the code. Okay. Now Azure test plans. Generally, okay, so every application will be integrating with some test cases, right? So all the test cases are stored into Azure test plans. The reusable components like procedures, some functions, DLL files, okay, will be stored into Azure artifacts. Like this, Azure DevOps is a combination of 5 different components. We have this actual flow. Okay, actual flow means your Visual Studio is a place where exactly developers will be writing the code. IDE. Okay, it is just like IDE. It is just like my Eclipse and Eclipse. Okay, Visual Studio is the best IDE for .NET applications. Okay, so once the code is deployed into Visual Studio, okay, once the code is written in the Visual Studio, the code will be written. The code will be submitted to Azure repos. Okay, and whatever code is available in Azure repos, that will be integrated with the test plans. Okay, according to company QA policies, the code will be tested. Okay, so once the testing is over, okay, Azure pipelines is going to create 2 types of pipelines. Okay, one is a build pipeline, other one is release pipeline. And once the artifact is created, okay, so where exactly you can run the code. To run the code, we require Azure Web Apps. Okay, and while the application is running, okay, we have to monitor the activities, right? To monitor the activities, okay, we can use something like Azure Application Insights. Anyway, this is Azure boards already we have discussed now. Now, once upon a time, that means till 2018, okay, there is no concept of .NET provision, okay, in Azure DevOps. So from 2018 onwards, okay, Azure DevOps is also going to offer many languages like C, C++, .NET, Android, iOS apps. Because of that reason, Azure DevOps become that much popular. Okay, so before 2018, okay, the Azure DevOps earlier name was VSTS. VSTS. Okay, so VSTS used to support only .NET framework, .NET language. So after 2018, what happens? VSTS has been renamed as okay Azure DevOps. Okay, Azure DevOps is going to support all the languages like Java, Python, Node.js. Okay, iOS apps, Android, many applications it is going to support. Okay, extensible means generally we can extend Azure DevOps functionality also. So if the number of builds are increasing, okay, we can extend the functionality of Azure DevOps. And we can also integrate Azure DevOps with our GitHub repository. Okay, so what is a GitHub repository? It is the external repository for storing, okay, the developer's code. It can be Java code, it can be .NET code, whatever it may be. Guys, this is my Azure DevOps demo session. If you have any questions, you can ask me, I will answer. Clearly, I have explained what is 2 types of DevOps roles. One is infra DevOps and other one is application DevOps. Okay, this course is targeted for application DevOps, not infra DevOps. So if you are infra DevOps guys, okay, so you have to create application DevOps pipelines as well as you have to provide infrastructure also. But as a application DevOps, just you need not to provide any infrastructure. Okay, you need not to use any Terraform, you need not to use any Docker and Kubernetes. So just your responsibility is to create application pipelines like application that is build pipeline and release pipelines. Now you can ask your queries and I will answer. Okay, if you have any questions, concern, you can ask me. Duration is 2 months. Okay, Docker Kubernetes is 1 month, 4 weeks, and Azure DevOps 4 weeks. But parallelly, you have to attend Docker Kubernetes and Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps will be in morning. Sorry, Docker Kubernetes will be in morning sessions. That is 6:45 a.m. IST. Actually, okay, we are providing one course, so 2 courses at one course fees. Because nowadays, you know how much importance is there for Docker and Kubernetes. Docker and Kubernetes, it is very important for deploying microservices. Okay. Regarding fees, you can ask training team. Okay, because fees issue you can speak with DURGASOFT front office team. Okay, they will answer. They will tell you clearly. Actually, for DevOps engineers, no live projects are there. Okay, so we are going to take one live project because the project can be any project. The project can be it can have 1,000 lines or 1 lakh lines. Then the nature of application DevOps engineer will be same. Okay, from project to project, your roles and responsibilities will not be changed. Okay, yeah, we have lab provided. Lab means, okay, you have to have one Azure DevOps account. Okay, regarding Azure DevOps account, tomorrow we will discuss how to create and what to create. And when coming to practice sessions, practical sessions, okay, you can use Azure DevOps. Three months free trial. Okay, so you can create an account in Azure DevOps portal. Sorry. Okay, where you can create account means here you can create account. You need not have Azure account exactly. dev.azure.com. This is a place exactly. Okay, where you can practice for 3 months. 3 months means more than, it is more than enough. Okay, if you don't have account, you are seeing this option, sign up. Start free. Are you seeing this option, right? Start free. So if you are having account, okay, you can click on this sign into Azure DevOps. And but for creating Azure DevOps account, okay, so for practicing Azure DevOps, you need not to have Azure DevOps Azure account. But even though if you want to create Azure DevOps account, Azure DevOps, okay, Azure account creation. Azure account creation. Azure account creation requires definitely, okay, credit card is required, one mobile number, email ID. These are the things you require, okay, to create Azure account. But how to create Azure account? This is Azure DevOps account create. Okay, so even though you don't have Azure account, so you can practice Azure DevOps for 3 months. So if you want to create Azure account, okay, just go to portal.azure.com. You are seeing this option, use another account. You are seeing this option, create one. Here you have to type your email ID. In the next page you have to type your credit card number. Okay, so within minutes your account will be activated. Once again, I'm telling, to practice Azure DevOps, Azure account is not required. Just you can have Azure DevOps account for the 3 months, 3 months free trial. But when you want to create virtual machines for release pipelines, then you need to have Azure accounts. No requirements are required. Okay, no need of having any background. Okay, directly you can join because this is only one course which does not require any programming knowledge. Yes, a non-IT from non-IT background also you can join because initially I told you, right? Okay, so it does not require any coding knowledge. We don't expect any coding knowledge. Nowadays, Azure DevOps jobs are I think just you can Google for it. So just you type Azure DevOps jobs in India, at least for 3 or 4 years, guys. So if you put 3 or 4 years experience, you can expect 12 lakhs to 13 lakhs of salary just with 3 to 4 years experience, because Azure DevOps jobs are more nowadays compared to generic DevOps, infra DevOps. Not only in India, in other foreign countries also. Okay, Azure DevOps is growing now. No problem. You don't have, even though you don't have IT experience, you can join, because for developers like Java, .NET, okay, Python, for these development courses you need to have programming knowledge. But for learning Azure DevOps course, no need of having any IT background. Session recordings, everything is provided. Every session is a live session. Okay, once the session is finished, okay, the recorded session will be shared with you. Azure rates the agent service. What is that? Can you ask that question once again? Hosting agent, for a hosting agents, you need to have Azure account. Then you can use any cloud, right? It need not be Azure cloud. Okay, it can be any cloud. It can be AWS cloud. It can be GCP cloud, or GCP, whatever it may be. Okay, from that cloud you can take agents.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, as you were referring to morning sessions, can you just brief on the time pattern of that, like from when it is expected and all?
Timings, regarding timings. You are asking regarding timings?
Yes, please.
Your voice is little bit breaking.
Sorry for that. No, as you were referring to the morning sessions, the Docker
Regarding
and other.
timings, this is a time. This is a regular time, 8 to 9.
No, sorry. I remember hearing something on morning as well, like as you said for Docker and other. So
For Docker and Kubernetes, okay, just I will write the timings. For Docker and Kubernetes, you have to attend this time. Both are different courses, but Docker and Kubernetes completely it is free of cost. Docker and Kubernetes, that is 6:45 AM IST. Azure DevOps timings are 8 to 9. 8 to 9 PM. This is 6:45 AM IST. Within 2 days, the Docker and Kubernetes will be started. Okay, if you want to use this opportunity, actually this is a beautiful opportunity. Okay, because Just for at one course cost, we are providing 2 courses. Okay, Docker Kubernetes and Azure DevOps. $6:45 AM IST. That is for Docker and Kubernetes. And parallel you have to attend. If this is 4 weeks. Here are written, right? This is Azure Devops Timings. 8 to 9 PM IST. This time only. So if no questions are there, I will stop it for today. Tomorrow we'll meet again at same time. It's same link. No prerequisites are required. No prerequisites are required for Docker and Kubernetes also. Regarding placement assistance, you can speak with the DURGASOFT training team. Okay, they will speak with you regarding placements. Okay, you have joined late. Just do one thing. You collect recording. Okay. Okay, you give your call to DURGASOFT training team and ask for recording. Okay, they will provide you recording. Okay. Okay, thank you guys. I will stop the meeting. Okay, tomorrow we meet again. Thank you. Thanks for attending. Thanks for your time.